It is. You know, when I was at school, I was I was very lucky that my dad had kind of we went go-karting when I was really young, but during school, my schooling period, there wasn't many opportunities to do things like this. You know, so very much in support of these new programs that come out, these new scholarships and that, because you know, obviously, kids are the future. We are the future, or you guys are the future, and I think it's really neat. This is something to aspire to, and I hope that for all the racing drivers that are here, I hope that what I have achieved shows that they can do it as well. I started karting when I was 8, and it was just a hobby for me and my parents to do. My dad bought me a really old go-kart. It was like, I think it'd been owned by 5 different families. And yeah, we went and raced. I won my first 6 races. And then after that, wow, it's really quiet now.
Yeah, you're supposed to clap after that. He won his first 6 races.
Yeah. I won my first British Championship in my 2nd year. And then that's when I met Ron Dennis, and told him that I wanted to be an F1 world champion one day. And it just kind of grew on from there, you know. But the biggest thing when I signed with McLaren was that I had to work hard at school. And it wasn't until when I got to Formula 1 and I realized just how important my schooling was, because the communication skills you need to work with these university students from Oxford and Cambridge and, you know, all these great places around the world, to be able to communicate them what I'm feeling in the car and work with them through the year is pretty tough. I work with like 1,000 people in my team, so it's almost 1,000 people. It's, I think 600 people in my main team, and then we have 400 people that work on the engine, so it's a big group of people I work with. No, I know a lot of kids, and particularly youngsters that are looking to, you know, get to do racing, do football or cricket or tennis or something like that. And it's very easy for their schooling to be put aside, but it's the most important thing. You know, you've got plenty of time in your life, so important not to rush it, because, you know, there's just so much time to do, so many opportunities. And yeah, as I said, McLaren, my sponsors, they were very keen on me staying in my studies, making sure I worked hard, just as my family were. But it's very easy with your parents. They get so focused on the karting side of things, it's easy for them to sometimes get sidetracked.
Right.
I had schooling every day, and I missed, it was like Monday to Friday, but I would miss sometimes Thursday and Friday. So then I had a private tutor at 6 a.m. in the morning, every morning. Went to school, came back, had a private tutor again at like 9 o'clock or something. And then I would have the private tutor go with me to my races. I was very, very lucky because my team paid for that, but that was hardcore to keep up. I used to be, now I suck. I'm not very good now anymore. No Man U, no.
No Man U.
No, I like Man U. Man U are a good team, but I grew up, when I was 5 years, I think I was 5 or 6, my older sister, I think I supported, maybe it might have been Man U, or it might have been Tottenham or something like that, as I was 5 years old. And my sister beat me up and said, if you don't support Arsenal, so I started supporting Arsenal, and I've never left. But I like Barcelona. I like watching Brazil play. Yeah, I mean, there's so many great teams. So,
right.
But I don't do it anymore. I don't play football anymore. The one thing I would say is to never give up. I think the one thing my dad always told me was to never give up. And there was so many experiences I had through my racing career where there was moments that I didn't think that I would make it. But I'd wake up the next day, I'll go training, get myself back into it, and I kept believing in myself. And just, I managed to get there, you know. And I had support the whole way. But the one thing is, even today, when I have bad weekends, the next morning I get up, I train, because I feel like I can do it again, or I feel I can get there. And I didn't win the World Championship this year, but I feel that if I just keep working at it, eventually I'll get there. And so you need to all need to have that. You're all so young, so you've got a long way to go. But just remember that when it gets really, really tough, just remember, never give up, because there's always a brighter day ahead. I definitely had many people like that. even at my school, I even had my headmaster tell me that I couldn't make it. Several of my teachers, not that the teachers here are like that, but I didn't go to a very good school, and I had people that are at racing, the other drivers' parents would say it. There was so many different people that would say so. But you know, my family kept believing in me. And you know what? I always do my talking on the track. The best way to do it is, you know, just stay quiet and let your results, or let your results do the talking. Because then it shuts everyone up. And so if someone tells me that I can't win or I'm never going to make it, I just kept pushing and pushing, kept believing in myself. And when I did, I didn't have to say anything. And that's why I say just never give up. You know, keep believing in yourself. I like to sleep when I'm driving. When I'm not racing, I get in the car and I like to sleep. So catch up on sleep or do emails or something like that. So I like to be driven. But when I get home, when I go back to Monaco, I like going out on my motorbike. I like being out on my bike.
There we go.
And I do have a couple of cars, and I like to take them up the mountains every now and then, but really not going fast or anything. So the fastest I think we ever did, I think was, do you work in miles an hour or kilometers an hour? Kilometers. Kilometers, yeah. So I did 365, I think. But that was like on an airport, which was pretty cool. And, yeah, I like night races. I like night races on the street circuit. So the track we have here is just wicked. It's very, very hot. So when you're in your race suit, it's really tough. But I like the street circuits. That's the most challenging. You know, when you don't have any runoff areas, where it's very bumpy, it's quite challenging compared to an open circuit where you have lots of runoff areas. That's, for me, I feel, when you can really make the big difference as a driver. It's pretty much like I said, never give up. What else? I think that's it for me. Every day I wake up and I'm thinking to myself, because I wake up and I think about racing all the time. So, and we're training all the time, we're traveling all the time, we're away from family and friends. But I think for me, it's always wanting to be the best. I want to be the best at what I do. And even if I've won a world championship, I can always do better. I can always do better at qualifying, practice, racing, how I present myself, how I speak to people, how I learn about the car and all this kind of things. So I think it's always wanting to be the best. That's kind of my life motto. Yeah, so for me, obviously, I'm moving from McLaren to Mercedes, which is a big step for me. I think for all of us, you know, as you guys grow up, you will move around from job to job and you'll experience different things. You know, I've been with McLaren since I was 13. So I've grown up with the people. I did my work experience there when I was at school. I know everyone, and for me, going somewhere else, it's now a new challenge for me. I've got to learn to communicate with new people. I've got to be able to learn perhaps like a slightly different language of how they like to communicate. A new environment and all these kind of things, which you guys will experience plenty of those things. This is going to be the first time I've had that new experience. So I'm really excited about it. You know, they have a slightly worse car at the moment, but if I was able to go there and help them direct that car and turn it into a good car, that's the best feeling I could probably have.
Yep.
It's been amazing. You know, we came here the first year, is it 2009? Yeah. I think 2009 was, no, 2008. Yep. Was our first year here. And usually when you go to a new track, it's the place will struggle a little bit the first race because they're just getting used to it. But when we came here immediately, they did an amazing job. And the city's just fantastic. We've been looked after so well every year we come here. And I think each year we start to see more and more fans, which is a good thing. So hopefully the next year we'll get to see some of you there as well. Well, I do. I get defeated every now and then, quite a lot actually. But in my sport, it's not necessary. I mean, if it's not like golf, for example. Golf is really all about the competitor. Is where, as I work in a team of a lot of people, it's about the car as well. So, how the team performs. So sometimes I lose races that it's not really down to me. So you have to kind of put yourself aside a little bit and think about the whole team as a whole, so me included. But when I'm on track and I have a one-on-one with someone and I have the speed, then I have 100% belief in myself that I can beat the person that I'm racing with. There's not a single driver that I race against that I feel is better than me. I feel like there could be a point where they're better in some areas that I need to improve on, but I never feel that they're better than me as a whole. I just think to myself, oh, he might be a little bit better here, so I've got to work on that area. But yeah, being overtaken by someone, that really upsets me. I'm sure you guys at the front know what that's like. Everything I do. When I'm training with my trainer, me and him are competing all the time. Everything I do, yeah. If I play football, which I don't do anymore, but if I play squash, whatever I'm competing in, I go hard. I train, I work so hard to try and win. My brother beats me at computer games, which really frustrates me. But he's younger and he knows what it's all about. But so I work really hard to try and make sure next time I don't lose. But yeah, I have that competitive streak in me. My girlfriend does as well, so we're quite competitive as people. So. Yeah, I do. I did listen to a lot of music. I don't really listen to any bands. I listen to a lot of Drake. Every now and then I have some Bob Marley. I listen to a lot of The Weeknd. I like old school like Biggie and Tupac. Who else? And of course everyone listens to Nas, 50 Cent. So a lot of hip hop and R&B I like to listen to. And I have to say I listen to my girlfriend as well. I have a lot of music. I have a lot of music that no one has heard of hers, so I get to listen to that sometimes. Some really, really good songs that not been released that I keep saying to her, you should release them. But no, I think for me it can be any kind of music throughout the race weekend, but it's a really good thing for me to try and get everything out of the way, out of my head.
It's a YouTube video of you and a guitar or something like that, right? Just posted recently, yeah?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I filmed it a while ago. Is it any good?
Oh yeah, it's quite good actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I play the guitar, so I like to mess around with the guitar. Just not that any good. I'm sure lots of you are way better, but it's just something good to. You need to sometimes in life find things that move you away from all the commotion that's in your life, and that's something that does. I haven't seen the team, but I can't do that until January. But yeah, my teammate, he lives in the same building as me, and we were teammates back in 2000 in go-karts. So we were teammates back then, and we were actually best friends from when I think I was about 13 to 16. We were really good friends back then, and so we always said before we got to Formula 1, we said how cool it would be if we were teammates one day in Formula 1, and so here we are. Next year is going to be our first year as teammates. Firstly, I really couldn't care less who wins it. If I'm not winning, then I really don't mind. I'm really focusing. I just have to focus on yourself, really, when you're racing. I go back on Friday to speak to the whole team. So it's like about 1,000 people I get to speak to, just to say a big thank you for all the hard work they've done, and wish them all the best for the future. You know, I'm going to be competing against them, but it'll always be my home. It'll always be where I grew up. So I'll always look back and hope that we're competing with them. But if they're successful, then I'll be really happy for them.